Maggie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today
Hi,
and being a part of Running Point.
thanks for having me.
When you look at this, like I said, I mean, you've been on this varsity team since your freshman year. It is your senior year now. I'm sure your opponents are thinking like it's about time. But what's your perspective on getting to this point in your career and getting into your senior year, and how does it feel to kind of try to reflect on your 4 years at Lakeview as you dive into your last season of volleyball with the Bulldogs?
Honestly, like these 4 years have been a blur. Like it's just gone by so fast. Like I feel like it was just my freshman year, like not that long ago. But now, like it's my senior year. I'm just taking it day at a time, trying to enjoy it. And right now, I am enjoying it. We're doing pretty well, and I hope that we keep that going.
Top spot in the power rankings for 2 weeks. The one question, Maggie, I have to ask you, we talked about at the top of the show. You're seeing so many hitters swing harder, bigger, faster, stronger. I know your dad knows a thing or two about that. When you are on the volleyball court, how do you read someone, or how are you taught to read someone that's swinging so hard nowadays?
I try to look at I look at them during the warm ups. I'll watch film, and then when I'm on the court, I just try my best to read their arm, and I also look at the set and see where the set's being set, so then I can adjust my defensive position in my release so that I can read where the ball goes.
You play a little bit of front row, a little bit of back row. How's that change when you have to read in the front row for your blocking and then read the back row for your back row defense?
One of the biggest things is just reading the setter's tendencies. I try to see where her body is positioned to see where she's gonna try and set the ball. So then, once the hitter receives the ball, I'm in the correct stance, whether I'm trying to block or I'm playing off blocker defense. I just try to stay ready wherever it goes.
So you're a senior now. We've already kind of mentioned that you've been a varsity athlete since you were a freshman, multi-sport athlete. Who's been the one person that you looked at on the way up at Lakeview that you've said, I want to be like them from a leadership standpoint?
Honestly, there has been a few. One of them being my sister. She was not in high school when I was in high school, but I since I was in fifth grade, I think that's when she was a freshman, and she also played all 4 years on varsities. And she's just a natural leader, kind of like I am. So I really look up to her. And when I was a freshman, Lexi Inman was a setter. She was the other setter when I set, and she was someone who just carried herself so well. And I tried to be like her today.
So you're a part of a great senior class, but in your 4 years, you've also seen other great senior classes graduate and young players come and take their spots. And that speaks volumes to Lakeview's volleyball culture. What do you think it is about Lakeview and the volleyball culture and the ability to constantly bring youth up and have them reach the standard? What is it that makes that possible in Lakeview?
Honestly, I think it really helps that our program has been so successful, and we've had fantastic junior high coaches that have really helped us get to the point that we are today. And I know the younger girls right now, they really look up to us. And I feel even when I was in junior high, I saw those varsity players and I was like, wow, I really want to be like them. And I've had to work very hard to be at the point where I am today. And I think the same thought process goes through their minds too.
All right, we already mentioned you're at the top of the polls on the power rankings, and not that means anything to anybody, but how nice is it to be able to look out and see the progression of this program in your 4 years and know that you left your mark?
It feels great. Like you said, we are at the top of the pools, but it doesn't mean anything until postseason time. So once we get there, everyone's 0-0, so we'll go from there. But over my 4 years, I think that just the progression of our team has just excelled, and we've just wanted to get better every single year. And I think this year there's a chip on our shoulder that wasn't there before, and I think it's awesome. And I think that it's really helped us this season.
Yeah, and you bring up that chip on your shoulder. It showed in that Gerard match a couple of weeks ago. I want you to take us back to that match and what went through this team's emotions and what was the mindset going in, because obviously for the first time since the NE8 was a thing in volleyball, you guys were the chasers instead of the chased. What was it like going into that game knowing that Gerard was the reigning NE8 champions instead of you guys?
I mean, like the day leading up to that game, like we had Austintown Fitch and Gerard back to back. So we played Austintown on Saturday, beat them in 4 sets. It was a great win for us. They're a fantastic team. So we had momentum going for us. And the day before, I was like, guys, we're ready. Like, we got this. Like, just be confident in there, have fun. And we got to the game started, and we probably had like the worst first set of our entire season. So I was like, guys, like, are we having fun? Like, we just had to like regroup, and in the middle of that second set, we had to come back from a like 7 or 8 point deficit. And from that point on, like, we just played very well, and we did pull it out, which, was very, felt pretty good. So, we play them again next Thursday, so I'm excited for it, and I'm sure they are too. It'll be a great match, and I'm excited. Like, I'm just enjoying it.
Everybody knows Lakeview's got a ton of school pride. It's been some tough years in recent years, kind of all across the sports, but it seems like the times are changing. Maggie Pavlansky, do you feel it inside the school? Do you feel it inside the gymnasium whenever you guys and ladies take the floor?
I really do. I think our senior class is special. I think that there's just like this sense of like togetherness and school spirit that, has really grown over the past like year and a half. So it just feels really good. Like, it's going to be a great year for this community.
If we gave you a crystal ball and made you look back on freshman Maggie Pavlansky, what do you think is the biggest growth point between her then and you now as a senior?
Well, I'd have to say freshman year, like, she was very I still am, but like, I'm a very like nervous person. Like, I get stressed out. Like, in freshman year was like 1,000 times that. And I think now, like, I just take everything like a day at a time. Like, I'm enjoying it. Like, I think people can see like when I play, like, I have fun, like, I'm into it. And like, I'm just like, I try to be a good leader for my teammates. And yeah, I just think I have fun. Like,
Who's one player that it's been with you, or maybe multiple? Because it seems like you guys, I keep saying you guys, you ladies are awful close in this senior class. Who's been kind of there for you and with you through the entire gauntlet, so to speak?
Like our 4 seniors, to be honest, Brooke Schneider, Maddie Bayes, Tara Lytle, and Emma Schmader, like, we've been playing together since 7th grade. Brooke and I, we also play basketball together. Emma Schmader and Tara Lytle also played club with me the last few years. So, like, we've just been around each other so much, and it's just special. And I really hope that we can end our senior year strong and just have fun with it.
Got to ask you about one of your other teammates and Mallory Mylock, who's been kind of splitting the setting with you this season. It's been giving you guys more opportunities to have more hitters in the front row at all times. What's it been like seeing someone not just share it with you this year, but also probably prepare this program for years to come after you're gone?
Oh, for sure. I think Mallory has gotten so much better from last year to this year, especially. And I think that we just work so cohesively together. Like, we have gotten, like, no matter if she takes the first ball or I take the first ball, like, we're always there. We have each other's backs, and we're still able to set our hitters very efficiently. And I just think we work very well together.
As a multi-sport athlete, you have to be getting looks at different levels for colleges. Is there plans to go to the next level and play anything, or do you want to just be a student for a little bit?
I do plan on playing volleyball in the future, like in college. I'm not sure where yet, but I do plan on playing volleyball.
Can you give us a little sneak peek and maybe like, do you want to travel? Do you want to stay closer to home? Is there a dream school per se?
Yeah, I want to stay in the area, so no more than like an hour away or so. Like, I've seen from my sister, like, how beneficial it is to stay close to family. And, like, so that's something like I thought would be very good for me. So, Division 2, Division 3 in the area, I think would be a great fit for me.
Westminster. I think that at the end of the day, you've got so much talent. Do you enjoy now? Obviously, volleyball is your first love. Is there a ranking for like the sports that you play?
Oh, I mean, volleyball would have to be number one. And then I also play basketball and softball, and
Mhm.
I just get so torn between those two because I don't like to say that like one of them is my least favorite that I play, but I probably like basketball a little bit more than volleyball, or sorry, softball. Sorry, too many sports.
See, exactly. You can't even keep it straight. How are we supposed to?
I know.
When you play all three, I'm going to ask you this. What's the best feeling in sports? Is it the home run? Is it the 3-point shot? Is it the set? Is it the dig? What gives you that best feeling in one of your sports?
That is a tough question. I think there's gotta be a tie between hitting a home run and getting a stuff block.
Mm.
In volleyball?
Yes.
Okay. I was sitting there. I'm like, she might be talking about basketball too. That might be a toss up as well.
Yeah, I mean, I do those too.
I was
So.
gonna say you got a few of those to your resume. I have to imagine. We were talking earlier about kind of the way things go and being an ultimate team player. And Maggie, that is you personified. What's one moment that maybe you didn't have the ball or the light shining on you that you were really proud of your teammates in that moment?
As a setter, like setters, they won't get like the major accolades or like the things that like people want to like strive for. It's like they're always feeding their teammates. They're always there for their teammates. And like in big moments in big games, like when we played Gerard like a few weeks ago, and in our tournament game last year when we played Jefferson, we had to come back from a 2-0 deficit, and like we lost, we were done. And I feel like that my teammates around me just stepped up so well in that game, and this they just played super well. And that it comes from everybody. Like volleyball is just such a team sport, and if everyone has to be on and like with each other, and that's just the nature of the sport. That's how it is, and I love it.
Been dying to ask Lakeview players this because it seems like the last 2 seasons you guys have come back from deficits like it's your job. You just said it, brought up one in the tournament last year against Jefferson, and that's hard to do in volleyball because it's such a momentum-based sport. What makes this team so good at washing off maybe a bad set or a couple of bad points and really regaining the momentum so quickly?
It really helps. I mean, I think this year we've been the best at that so far out of my 4 years, at just like letting things go and moving on to the next play. I think our team has grown so much, being mentally strong, and it really helps when we have two such like dominant middles in Tara and Reagan Price. And I think like when we're able to get them the ball, like our momentum swings right back to us, and we end up realizing like, hey, like we can do this. Like in any of our hitters, honestly, like our outsides are super tough, and I think like we're able to pick each other up so much better than we were in years past.
I'm guessing you don't have to go far for role models. I know you talked about them before, but if you wouldn't mind just kind of going over them again and what they mean to you on your everyday basis.
Yeah, I mean, my role models, like, my sister and like my parents too, honestly. Like I've seen like how hard they work and how they like approach things in their life, and I want to do the same. Like I just want to be a good person, and I just I want to enjoy it.
Maggie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today in the middle of the day. We thank you so much. And we look forward to continuing our coverage of you throughout your senior season. And we also look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Give your parents our best, please.
Yeah, I will. Thanks.
Awesome. There she goes.